This video we will be going over how to solve algebra fractions that are multiplying or dividing two pairs of fractions. So first let's look at multiplying fractions. If you are multiplying 1/3 and you're multiplying that to 2/5, what we are doing is we are multiplying the top numbers together and the bottom numbers together. So you will get 1 times 2 over 3 times 5. So that's the same thing as 2 over 15. So this works similarly when we are dealing with fractions. So if we have x over y and we're multiplying that to xy, okay, we are going to have, actually let's make that x3. Yeah. So we will have x times x to the power of 3 times y. Well, the x's will increase the power because we add our powers. So it'll be x to the power of 4 times y all over, and we're going to multiply those two together, so x squared y. If you wanted to simplify that, remember your simplifying rule, so those would cancel and you'd take away 2 from there, so you would take away 2 up there. So the answer would actually just be x squared if you're simplifying it. For the checkpoint 4, you do not need to simplify it, but for the exam it will be recommended that you simplify your fractions fully, unless you're told otherwise. Another example is if we were to have some numbers in it. So 2xy over 3 x squared y and z times 3 x squared over z. Okay, so look at your numbers first. So 2 times 3, that is 6. X times x squared is x to the 3. Remember, you're adding your powers. And you have a y as well, so you add your y in. So we'll again look at the numbers. There's no number, so 3 times 1 is just 3. X squared times, well, there's no x over there, so it's just x squared. Look over here, we've got a y. We don't have a y over there, so we're going to write another y. And we have a z there and a z there. So we'll just add another one there. Okay, and again, you can simplify this if you like, so you can simplify your numbers. So 6 divided by 3, well, that's just 2 on the top. You have 3 of x's on the top and 2 on the bottom, so you're left with just 1 remaining on the top. You have 1 y each the top and the bottom, so they cancel, and you are left with a z squared on the bottom. So that would be it, fully simplified. Let's look at dividing fractions. So if you had 1/4 and you're dividing that by 2/3, okay, that's the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of that is basically when you flip it around. So the reciprocal is 3 over 2. So we are going to have 1/4 and we're going to change that to a times, and we're going to flip the second fraction over to get that. And now we'll just multiply like we normally would. So 1 times 3 is 3. 4 times 2 is 8. So this works again very similarly with fractions. So if we had x to the 3 over y and we wanted to divide it by y squared over x, okay, we are going to write the first one down. We are going to change it to a multiplication symbol, and we are going to flip the fraction. Now we are just going to multiply what we normally would. So x to the power of 3 times x, so that's x to the 4, over y times y squared, so y to the 3. Okay, something a bit harder with some numbers in it. Let's go for 2 y over 3x divided by 3z over 5xy. Okay, so write down the first one, flip your fraction and change it to a multiplication. Alright, multiply your top numbers together, so you have 10y, you have an x, and you have 2 y's. 3 times 3 is 9, x to the z. So 10y squared over 9z would be it simplified.